Alright, it's Monday night, and y'all know what that means.
It means pig is in here.
Yeah.
That's what that means. Hello, everybody. How you
Yep.
doing?
Open up the overlay here. So now they can see
Uh,
who's talking. I gotta remember to do that. Yeah. It's Monday. We're on episode, 61, and we're gonna be talking a lot about G2A because that is everywhere in
topic
the
of
news.
conversation. Yeah.
Everywhere, at least in the gaming news. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, we'll get to that. First, how was your week, Bob? I say as I
Um.
crack open a beer.
Oh man. I've
You-
had an interesting week, and mainly, nothing really happened up until Friday. Thomas got a car that morning, and then uh that night my car stalled and I almost got hit in the middle of the road.
Jesus.
Oh, it was great. I was turning off of a busy road,
Mm-hmm.
and right in the middle of turning.
The engine cut out.
Oh yeah, it was wonderful. I felt.
Fucking A. Um, have you checked the battery terminals at all?
Oh, I know what it is.
Okay.
That's the problem. So basically, the hose that goes from the air filter to the engine, on the side of the engine, is torn.
Oh, okay.
So it's reading basically that
Like that hose isn't connected, or it's something like that.
well it's just
Cause like I can,
it's just
it's fucked.
yeah, that's a good
So,
way to
like
put
I
it.
can see
So
that trip in the check engine, but or the check engine light, but I don't know what else.
yeah, so you
Uh,
just gotta replace that.
yeah. It's been kind of nonstop for me. Um,
Yeah.
Between Amazon and now we're kind of getting into the peak of wedding season
Oh
for the family business.
fuck.
So yeah, it's just been like every day. Like today, I just did a bunch of meat for a taco bar, and I want to die. More because of Amazon than my catering gig. Amazon's gearing up for Prime Day, and our station got hit with this new standardization procedure that got like everything got traded out in the building. Um, like what was it, this past Friday that finally went in on Friday. We have a week and only a week to figure out how to use this new system before Prime Week.
Oh great.
Yeah, Prime Day is
How
only a
how
day and a half, but we're gonna have additional volume to kick out. So,
how
how bad is
how
it?
different how
So,
different is it?
we used to have a system that ran on carts with lockable and unlockable wheels. So we would sort our packages to routes that were on these carts that we could just move around the building. So when it was time to dispatch, we would just unlock these carts, wheel them over to the drivers, and they just take them and go. Well, now all of the racks are stationary. And instead we have these big fuck off JC Penney looking carts that are like kind of like you'd see a bellhop in a fancy hotel using. They're about that size.
Mm.
And what we have to do is after we've done our sort, we then have to, instead of just taking the packages off the racks are now fixed to each other and locked down, so we can't move them. We have to instead take stuff off of the routes we've just sorted, put them on these big fuck off carts, and then wheel the carts over to the drivers. Now, the complicated part is A, having to transfer stuff from one rack to another. B, at the back of each, so the first two racks have shelves in every aisle. The back two don't. They just have a floor. So when we have to move those racks, we have to repack them. We have to move them around so everything stays on the cart, and then get that onto the new cart. In the time, we used to be able to have all of our stuff, dispatch started at about 4:30. 4:30. And we would have everything in place, all of our routes off the floor and ready to go by 4:45. Now, we don't have everything in place until about 5:15. It just tacked on 45 minutes worth of work for no reason. And this was even our station manager thinks the system is stupid. This doesn't make any sense, but it's apparently to fix some problems with night sort, and we're just kind of collateral damage. So, yeah, that's what I'm dealing with, is just corporate coming down and going, yeah, everything you're doing that's working out really well, how about you not do that? Just don't. And no one likes it. But I guess it's pretty telling if even the manager, even our station manager, if he's saying it's retarded, then then we know his hands are tied.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's been a couple of weeks. Oh, and I'm gonna get to go back into the madness tomorrow. This one bomber of Citrus Mistress is not going to be enough. I was reading that apparently some some fulfillment centers are planning to strike on Prime Day. So we'll see how much volume. Because, well, a lot of the things that these people are striking for, Amazon already gives them.
Okay.
And I think the only problem I'm seeing is blackout days, which are around peak, and then Prime Week are days where, okay, this is the 1 week where if you request any time off at all, it will be denied. Which, I mean, you can plan around that. You can plan around a couple of days. Or you can plan around not having a week. I do that all the time. But I don't know. That just... It's much worse in the fulfillment centers than it is in the distribution centers. The fulfillment centers are where you're having to work mandatory overtime to keep up with demand.
Right.
Distribution centers try to keep you to your shift unless absolutely necessary. The prevailing philosophy at our station has been, okay, it's 6 o'clock. You are free to go. Please go. We need to save on labor. But if we need you and you can stay, that'd be great. That's the extent of it. There's no you have to stay. There's no we're going to make you stay. It's just if you could, that'd be fucking awesome. So it's a very different mentality. I think when you hear a lot of horror stories from people who work for the Amazon warehouses, it's mostly coming from the fulfillment centers. I've had some pretty rough days in the warehouse, but not that many. I have yet to break a 12-hour day. I think the most I've done is 9. Which even then, coming from catering, it's just I don't need a break. What's lunch? I eat that at like 11 o'clock at night. I don't care. So yeah, that's been my week. Just adjusting to bullshit. Like you do.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Alright.
I've just been ridiculously tired.
Yeah, so have I. I think it's kind of the heat. Like, I don't know what it was. Yesterday, it was overcast and like 79 degrees. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is not California. Where are we? And now it's like sunny. There's kind of a dry heat up here, and it's just like, I can't be bothered. So, I've been messing with the settings, audio settings, those in the audience. Can you tell me if Pav is coming through all right? Or if I need to turn myself down or I need to turn him up? Because I'm not having the stream going while I'm running this, or the stream will pick up the streamception, and that's just not good. So
that would be funny to listen to, but not good for a long amount of time. Actually, our only viewer right now is Meyer, and he's currently AFK.
Damn it! I even shared the link around, and well,
just more promoting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to promote this channel more, but my primary channel's basically dead. Just because I don't have time. I was planning on doing that video, response to that extra credits video today, but work went long, so that did not happen.
Fun.
So I will, if dispatch goes smoothly tomorrow and I'm back on time, I might try and knock it out tomorrow.
I'm back on editor mode. I have a very, very, very student science fiction film that I'm editing.
Oh, fun.
It's simple, right?
Yeah.
It's simple. And there's enough there that it'll work.
Okay.
It was just shot like 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
Actually, I think it was longer than that. And the original edit they did for it, they didn't like. So they're like, hey, they actually gave me 2 films, that one and then another one, which is just a downer. The other one's just a downer.
Great. So I'm gonna drop this link in one more spot. Keep going.
No, you. But yeah, no, I could. What the hell were we talking about?
How bad our week's been?
Basically, yeah. I'm feeling kind of meh.
I know, we're both kind of.
Some bad news as well.
You
are. I already know the bad news. My I'm shit out of luck on nicotine right now as well.
Oh. Shit.
I bought some juice that was it's worked in the past. It's tasted good, but apparently it has become a coil killer. And when I say that, I mean like in 2 days it's burnt out coil.
God damn.
Yeah, shouldn't be doing that, especially since they're like $6.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I wouldn't know because I don't vape or smoke. I just drink like a fish. But
it's just really that's really expensive. When like a pack of cigarettes is, $9.
Yeah.
Pack of cigarettes $9, and you're spending $6 in 2 days. Might as well just go back to smoking.
Yeah. Did that vape tax kick in yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I don't know what's gonna happen when that kicks in, cause like it's just on juice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've talked to like 3 different stores, and they're all gonna close down. They're all getting ready to go out of business.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
I mean, they have to pass off the what they're paying to the
well,
customer, which sucks.
from what from how it's from how they're one of the employees was talking,
Mm-hmm.
he's just like it's worse than just that. They're going to come into our store, count up how much juice we have, and then hand us a bill for how much we owe the state.
Jesus.
And I'm like, how?
And
So basically, what you're saying
this
is
isn't a federal tax. This is simply a Washington
this is
state tax.
just Washington. So it started off as a huge tobacco tax, right?
Yeah.
And then Marlboro and Company. Uh, this is complete speculation, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Um, lobbied against it, and
As they
then
would.
so they have a lot more money than vape companies because most vape companies are pretty, not
Small,
really
and
mom and
they've
pop,
only been
but
around for maybe at this point. Well, when did e-cig start becoming big? About 2013, 2014. That's when they started getting on the scene, and then vaping
yeah,
really kind of kicked in late 2014. So
yeah,
most,
and
even the biggest vape company was only going to have been around for within the last 5 years,
so
which is not a lot of time to amass a good amount of wealth.
right, so basically what's ended up happening is instead of it being a tobacco or nicotine tax, it is now a tax just on juice brought into Washington, and it's 9% at the manufacturer level per milliliter. So that's $100, or that's $9 for 100 milliliters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do
and
most
that's
do most stores manufacture their own stuff, or do they just order it?
no, they
Because
order it. So anything that comes into Washington and anything that so basically how it would go is like hey, a store wants to buy a thing of juice, they would have to pay the
pay
the
the
company,
manufacturer, yeah,
yeah, 100.
and and then the state comes into the shop and taxes the shop based on its inventory.
Yeah,
That doesn't make any sense. They're already
no,
taxing the manufacturer. Why would you need to tax the shop? That doesn't make any sense at
trust
all.
me, it's retarded. And another one of the issues that I also ran into, or
Does
that we also talked about, is the fact that so it's on milliliter, right?
yeah. Wait,
Marlboro
per
has
milliliter. Wow, that
this is per milliliter. Yeah, yeah. Marlboro has their own vape, right? It's
mm-hmm.
called Juul, and this is Juul is actually the thing that is causing the problem that a lot of the marketing for this bill was campaigned on. Is kids buying nicotine and vaping, all that kind of stuff. All of that comes from Juul. Because Juul is sold out of things like gas stations where you can walk in, and if a gas attendant is not really paying attention or doesn't really care about his job,
Mm-hmm.
as someone under the age of 18, buy vape juice. You walk into a vape shop where the actual like main companies are like Red and all that kind of, you have to present an ID the minute you walk through the door.
Yeah, kind of like how weed shops do it.
Yeah, it's incredibly regulated. So that's not where they're coming from. They're coming from things like Juul, because those are sold in gas stations. But
Mm-hmm.
Juul's not going to get affected by this.
No.
Because Juul. Well, no. Here's why. So it's per milliliter. Well, Juul doesn't actually sell juice by the bottle. Juul sells pods that are pre-filled, and
Mm-hmm.
each pod is like 0.3 under a milliliter.
Jesus Christ.
So it's nothing's gonna happen basically.
Not to Marlboro.
Not to Marlboro, but the vape companies getting hit with it. So here's the thing. Topaz has been looking up ways to make her own juice, and
Oh my.
that'll solve that problem, right?
Uh-huh.
You just buy big things of like PG, VG, and nicotine and flavoring, right? Boom. Because that's all vape juice is. It's 4 flavors. It's
You
4
just
things.
put it all in a blender and smoke it.
Basically. There's a bunch of websites that tell you how to like proper stuff.
Yeah.
But
No,
my
no,
issue
it's
is
totally done like the Rats mission in Payday 2. Just
exactly
put shit into tubs and hope it doesn't explode.
my issue is when that comes in and all of the shops start closing down. Where am I gonna get coils? Please.
Yeah, that's coil. I mean, I guess it'd be kind of weird, but some of these shops could turn into just a vaping parts shop. I don't know what else to
I see.
what else to call it.
You could do that, a vape hangout, but I mean,
If you
there's
don't
a
sell
lot
the
of
juice, you
legal
can't be
regulation.
taxed on it. But
Yeah, but if juice is being passed around, right? You know, that causes legal issues.
is it illegal to make your own vape juice?
I don't know. Is it illegal to make your own tobacco?
You can roll your. I'm sure you can grow and roll your own. As far as I know, I am not a lawyer and I am not very well versed in tobacco law, but
When the bill passes through, right? People who are making their own juice are avoiding the tax.
mm-hmm.
They're still avoiding the tax.
But they're making it.
Yes, but they're still by
Okay, so
making
if I
it
make
themselves.
my own salsa, I'm avoiding a tax on any salsa.
It's not a regulated substance.
There still might be
You can't
sales tax
use a
on
regulated-
salsa. You're avoiding the sales tax. However, this isn't sales tax.
No,
this
it's
is
just-
this is a flat something else.
Right, but
Oh my god, my fucking rig is dying. What is? What the hell is chewing up my?
there's what's up?
You just cut out. I'm sure the stream picked you up, but you just cut out for me, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell is chewing up my
Yeah,
use.
you're cutting out a little bit for me too.
What? Why is Firefox using 97% of my memory? What the shit? I gotta have a mind to go to Chrome. What the hell?
How much memory do you have?
I should have 16 gigs of what does this board
Yeah,
have?
that's way too much.
Yeah,
Way too much.
if anything, OBS should be using more memory than Firefox. Does it really cost that much memory to stream? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Alright, here, let's try turning down the settings. Not on OBS, just on Firefox. Holy hell.
I think you're trying to avoid the conversation.
What, me?
Yeah. No, not
Okay.
you. Topaz. She's getting a little defensive, and that's not the kind of conversation that we're having. Um, I'm just saying that I wouldn't be surprised if they pull some bullshittery, like, hey, it's now going to cost you, if you're found making your own juice, blah 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 blah.
You might as well make it illegal.
All right, let me try.
They have it's still not completely legal to grow your own weed here.
Right.
Like you can, but it has to be, talked about, and you have to give
Oh,
it
I
a
bet
day,
it's.
but you can't just do it on your own.
I bet no script is the problem.
What's going on?
Oh, I think no script trying to run script blockers on all these tabs is causing issues with Firefox.
Fun. Um, but yeah, so as October gets closer, I guess I'll have a little bit more of an understanding of what's going on. Um,
Okay.
Apparently Topaz has found places that sells all the ingredients that you need, and I'd like to see. Uh, I might have her put in less nicotine than what I normally get, just in case it turns out bad.
Okay.
Hey, I've had people send me their homemade juice before, and the nicotine that they had in there at the level that I normally vape was just ridiculously.
It hurt.
Oh yeah,
They like too long.
it was like, oh god, my throat is.
That
On
sat for way
fire.
too long.
Are
Yeah.
you smoking nicotine or capsaicin at this point? We can't be sure. Okay. Yep, that was the problem. No script going, "Hey, I'm trying to block all these things. What do you want me to do?" So, give me a second. We'll get that stabilized.
All right.
Fucking hell. I just want to read the news, no script. Fuck off. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it's because it thinks I'm trying to load the stream in HD when it should be in like 144 on the YouTube page. I don't know. Come on. I don't want to have to fucking force crash my browser and reopen it.
That's always fun.
All right. Well, let's just try to jump into the news.
All right.
Do you want to cover the tech talk first, or?
Oh, sure. Let's get that out of the way.
All right.
So, we start with the Bungie, or are we gonna start with straight tech talk first?
Let's start with the straight tech talk first, and that'll segue into what Bungie is dealing with quite nicely, I think.
Okay. So where the fuck did that? You mean the AMD introduces the Radeon?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Why are we?
You don't want to do that one?
No. This is just like, hold on. Give me a second.
Huh?
I'm gonna.
Need GIMP open. Why don't I have GIMP open?
Jesus, hold on.
Wow, my rig is chugging like mad.
Here. This one. Because that article, even though that was written like a few days ago, that was talking about something from last month, the beginning of last month, where like a bunch of new stuff has come out this month. So,
Okay.
so that one I just pulled up. I think it's a little bit more of an interesting topic anyway.
Firefox, you're killing me here. You're seriously killing me here. Fucking hell. I'm gonna need a new rig sooner than I think.
I'm sorry, man. Hey, you know, the 3600
Well, I mean,
is pretty cheap.
well, I might just have to bite the bullet and go for it.
I can build it for you if you want me to.
How much do you want?
To build it?
Yeah.
The price of whatever it costs you to meet me, like in person, so I can. Like, I'm not.
Bremerton's a bit of a trip, but if it means a rebuilt rig, then I'll do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't charge you for that because it's already going to cost you money to get down here. But we'll talk about that later.
Okay. Holy shit.
Oh, I no. If you're serious, like, dude, I'd love to.
Okay. Could I bring you my old one and just have you bring the drives over? Because the drives are, well, okay, my main drive isn't, it's not in bad shape, but it's old. It's like 6 years old.
So originally when we were talking about this, we were just talking about swapping out the motherboard, processor, and RAM. Are you referring to like more stuff than just that?
So there are things I'd like to swap out and things I need to swap out.
Okay.
I need to swap out the board and processor because that is really bottlenecking my system. Now, things I'd like to swap out are my main HDD, just because it's old. I mean, it's not showing signs of failure, it's just old.
Okay.
The slave drive is fine.
Did you just say slave drive?
Slave drive, yeah. It's holding like my Steam library and everything else. It's not partitioned to run Windows 10, it's just storage. You've never heard that term before?
No, just that term refers to when our hard drives used IDE, not SATA. So I'm very concerned about.
SATA,
Like,
mine uses whips and chains. What are you talking about?
No, I'm very familiar with the term slave drive.
My second drive's out in the field picking cotton. It's not picking cotton, it's picking up Steam games, I tell you.
Yeah, well, okay, so then, just... Oh boy, now this is all getting serious. So,
It's getting weird.
talking about computer parts and new things that are coming out, the morning after, I literally just found this within like 2 seconds of search, and this is not the article that I originally read about this yesterday.
I'll try and bring it up.
If, oh,
if my
see
computer
it?
stops
Oh.
shitting the bed. Oh, good, and Daz locked up. I'm not even running Daz. It's just there in the background. Holy, what the fuck? I can just let that go. Change like 3 things on that render, whatever. That's probably what's holding everything up. And task. Still says it's Firefox. Still says it's
What? Like, is it... Why not just close out a DAS? Like, completely?
I just did.
Okay.
I just did, and it's still saying Firefox is using 4,000 megabytes of my memory.
Oof. I mean, that's what Chrome is using right now, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17. Plus, I'm uploading a video. So.
I need a newer rig.
Sign it. Do you want to
And-
switch it over to me? Oh, let's keep going. You got it?
It's taking 7 seconds just to copy a link. Are you kidding me?
God.
Okay. I am going to close and reopen Firefox because I don't understand. Oh, there we go. Now it opens. Jesus Christ.
See, mine's taking up 4 gigs, but that's like 10% of my total amount of memory, so I'm fine.
Well, I've got a whole bunch of other processes going, like, I guess I can and get rid of BattleNet and all this other shit. Yeah,
Yeah, Go ahead.
just like the one day Pig's gone is the one day I have all the technical issues. It's like, fucking really?
So. Let's see.
Okay, there we go. It's up now.
I'm gonna get one of those, like, technical difficulty
Right?
things.
Like from Fallout.
Yeah.
Just the same screen.
Yeah, but with
Just-
like the elevator music on.
Yeah.
And have it kind of glitch out every few seconds.
Firefox, we're using 10,000 megabytes of memory. Why?
Oof.
What is Polygon just that shit of a site? Or fucking PC Gamer? Like, what the hell? Please explain. What? Wow. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Interact.
Wow. So this article is literally just a paragraph. It's not even
Okay.
the first paragraph. It's the second one. So context for those who don't know and are watching. There is a battle between 2 major companies in the tech world, or 3. On the CPU side, it's AMD and Intel. On the GPU side, it's AMD and Nvidia. So back at E3, AMD released 2 new products, 5700 and the 5700 XT. Well, they didn't release; they announced. And they were priced to competitively with the 2 mid-range GPUs from Nvidia. 2 days before the announced release date of those 2 new GPUs from AMD, Nvidia refreshed their current cards, making them faster and pricing them at the same price that they were. Just kind of like, you know, get an early jab at AMD.
Mm-hmm.
Then the day that, which was yesterday, that those 2 new graphics cards released, AMD announced that they were doing a price drop on both of them. They were dropping them down, I think $50 each. And it's kind of interesting, like, for the reasons why. But I'll read this. AMD unveils the new Radeon RX 5700 line of graphics cards with a 7nm chipset at E3 last month. And with just days before the launch on
Are we
July
looking at the same article?
Yes, I said it's not the first one because the first one is about Windows 1.0.
Right, I'm on the Engadget one.
Yep.
Oh, hey, there's a whole. There's more. Okay. Well.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm there.
Just days to go before they launched on July the 7th, the company has announced new pricing. The standard RTX RX, God, the letters and numbers within computer components can just
It's
get
aggravating,
ridiculous
isn't it?
and repetitive. Well, okay, so the current GPUs from NVIDIA is RTX,
Mm-hmm.
and the current GPUs from AMD is RX. Also, the current stack up is 2070 2080 from Nvidia, and then the current stack up from AMD is 20 or 5700, so it's like four numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just it they're too close, guys. Like they're too
Can you
close.
just pick some different numbers, please? We ain't asking for much here.
Um and so the RX 5700 with 36 compute units of speed and up to 1.7 gigahertz was initially announced at $379, but instead hit the shelves at $349. The same price as in the Nvidia RTX 2060. Again, yeah, see the numbers and letters are very similar. The 5700 XT card that brings 40 compute units and up to 1.9 gigahertz of speed will be at $50 cheaper than expected, launching at $400.
Lower than.
Yeah, $400 lower than the $500 2070 Super. So that's basically just the news about them. Is they're like, hi, Nvidia wants to release new cards right before we have our big release day on all of our products. Okay, we'll just drop the price. Which, to be honest, after people were doing reviews on them and like benchmarking and all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it seemed like way more of a good idea to drop the price of them, because when the actual numbers were coming out with these GPUs, having them be a lot more cheaper than Nvidia's stack up makes a lot more sense, because they weren't hitting the same performance as what they were claiming on stage at E3, at least.
Hmm.
Usual with tech companies. But so yeah. So that's the GPU side of yesterday's release. Funny thing about the CPU side, going over to the PC Gamer article, like I said, it was literally just a paragraph long.
Yeah.
Bungie is investigating on why Destiny 2 won't run on Ryzen 3000 CPUs. Reports of issues
me a
getting
second here.
Destiny 2. Oh, sorry.
It'll just load. There we go.
Reports of issues getting Destiny 2 to run on Ryzen 3000 systems are piling up. Several Destiny 2 players who upgraded to 2A, which is crazy to think about, they were released yesterday and testing things with their new CPUs.
Yeah.
Already news about it. Who upgraded to the Ryzen 3000 CPUs are reporting that the game will not load properly. It's not clear what is causing the hiccup, though the good news is that Bungie is aware of the problem and is looking into it. So, there's a thread on Reddit talking about it. What does he mean by so I've gone over to Reddit, so I'm just going to read this for a second, and then I'm going to jump back.
Sure.
Destiny does not work on the PC with the new Ryzen 3000 CPUs. After clicking the play button on Battle.net, it says that the game is running, and the EXE for Destiny 2 will show up in Task Manager, but it does not show but it only shows that it's using 5 to 10% of the CPU, but will never start. A couple of threads have popped up on the Bungie forums, and it seems that it's affecting all variants of the motherboard / Ryzen. Tried reinstalling Windows, Jesus, 3 times over with full formats between and reinstalling drivers. Each time, Bungie help. Edit. So declare. Looks like. So. Go over and. So. You know what? I just went down a. Like. A little bit of a rabbit hole here. I'll come back.
Come back. Someone throw that man a line.
So I'm gonna scroll down a little bit to upon taking out my new processor and motherboard, the Ryzen 5 3600X and Gigabyte Aorus Elite, and putting back my old system, my 3770K, on a Z270 Sabertooth. On the same Windows install, Destiny 2 launches without issues. No amount of fiddling will resolve this. This comes from PRB Pickles, who actually is who posted the PSA that I just ended up on, and I wanted to come back and stick back to the article. Pickles also claims to have tried a clean install of Windows, along with applying the latest drivers of various other troubleshooting steps, all to no avail. So Bungie replied with, "Thank you for your report. We have escalated the issue for investigation."
Oh, come on. Just scroll down. I ain't asking for much.
Just
Jesus.
the CPUs. It's just the CPUs that are a problem. For those who don't know, a motherboard has its own processor built in called a chipset. That's just the simplest way of explaining it. Typically, when a new CPU comes out, it has a chipset that is paired with it. So the X570 is the current chipset that is paired with the new 3000 CPUs. Hopefully that makes sense. But AMD allows you to also run at least the new 3000 series on previous chipsets that use the same basically socket for the CPU.
Mm-hmm.
And so it looks like so as the problem is being reported on both the current chipset, which is the 570, and the previous chipset, which is the 470. The reports of compatibility issues are started to pile up on Twitter. Oof. Some of the reports also note that Destiny 2 appears in the task manager when trying to... Okay, right. We just read that. So, maybe convincing you to get the Ryzen 3000 right now is probably not the best idea.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I'm like, well, if I want to play this game, maybe not. Although it's at a good price. Shit. Decisions.
Could just be the way that Battle.net handles things.
I would hope not.
But Destiny 2 has had a lot of issues.
It has been pretty finicky, yeah.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing. It's not when the game released. When the game released, it was fine.
Yeah.
It's 2 years after the game is released, and now all the issues are coming into play.
It must be Activision's fault.
Mm-hmm.
And
100%.
And I mean, right now, I think Bungie's in the process of moving away from Battle.net. Because I know that...
Well, don't they have to?
Well, yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if that would have something to do with it. It probably wouldn't. That doesn't make sense why it would. But, I don't know. Computers are stupid. Mm-hmm. They break over the simplest of things. No matter what someone tells you. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, I'm certainly down to upgrade to a Ryzen because my i5 2500K is showing its age.
Yeah.
At this
We'll
point,
have
yeah.
to. Here's the thing. Given the way things are right now, I doubt that you're going to get the Ryzen CPU within like what, next week, right?
Probably another 2 weeks.
Okay. So, I doubt Bungie is going to allow an entire market base, because a ton of people bought the 3000 CPUs. I doubt that they're going to allow that kind of an issue to
Yeah, they're not just going to
for
flip
very
them
long.
the bird. I mean, it looks like right now Bungie's or D2 is supposed to be done for maintenance tomorrow, so I'm not
They
saying
might
they're going to
be-
fix it tomorrow, but who knows, that might have something. Maybe.
Right.
So, I think that'd be like too soon to have a solution, but
Maybe. Well, you don't
God.
know.
Fuck it. It's only 7. Why am I tired? I got a full 8 hours, god damn it.
I only had 5.
Jeez.
Well,
Oh, okay. What's next on our docket? I can close this article.
yeah, it doesn't sound like it's on anybody's end. It just sounds like it's Battle.net. They're marked. But, so, where the fuck have all the articles that I had? Yeah, they are.
They're around.
So, for those of you who do not know, there is a way to get games for your PC for incredibly cheap without waiting for them to get on sale. And that's with websites that sell just CD keys. Basically, it's you buy a game, and when you go into whoever made the game's software, like Steam for like most third party and just like open platform ones, anything that is made by EA, you go to Origin, Ubisoft for other ones, and you type in the key, and then you have the game on that game store. One of the more prominent ones is a website called G2A. Now, G2A has had a retarded amount of controversies over the years. Mainly just because of how cheap. I think that's what set off most people's bells. How cheap. Like, I'm gonna admit it. I used G2A for a little bit. I got the entire Assassin's Creed series from the first game to Syndicate. All the little extra stuff.
For a
For
screaming deal.
16?
Yeah,
that's
that's
$16.
Yeah, wow.
Right. And G2A has set itself up as mainly a platform for people to sell their own CD keys. This has created a culture of torrented keys that are sold, and a bunch of other stuff. They've had a lot of companies go up against them. Mainly game developers. Half because they're making money, like G2A is making money on games without giving the developers any compensation, or at least that's what it was at first, and then they kind of went down and disappeared for a while and came back, which started more controversy. But like, here we go to G2A right now. Like, you could pick up Ark Survival Evolved for $7. I think it's still like $30 on Steam.
Yeah.
Or
Something about
like
that. I
stuff
think
like
it's like
that.
25 to 30, something like that.
Yeah. Or $7 for Doom 2016. Um, they're cheap, and so a lot of developers have after them, for different things. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Mass Effect. Sorry, Mass Effect 1 and 2. Those were I actually got the I think the what's it called? Oh, let me look at my library. I got the
Do you need a
Mass
separate
Effect collection, or
Do you need a separate library for G2A, or is it just like a Steam library or an Origin library or something like
no,
that?
no, 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 no. So how CD keys work is, so I go on there, and I find a Doom, right?
Yeah.
Click on Doom. I want to buy Doom. I go down, scroll down, and I look at the seller, and so the information about Doom is this is a global version, so it can be redeemed anywhere in the world. Doesn't have to be. Some of them are territorial specific. Like you can only purchase this in, like, if you live in the United States type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then also it shows key is for, so it'll say Steam, Ubisoft, Origin, GOG, or just global. It can actually say global. Um, because how I got um what's it called? Grand Theft Auto 5 was through G2A.
Hmm.
And I got it like a few days after it came out for $40, and it was the pre-order version of it.
Oh, wow.
So I got a ton of extra like shark card stuff
Mm-hmm.
when eventually I went over to do the online. Um, but yeah, so but I didn't get it for Steam. I got it for global. So if I ever want to like what I just did earlier today, or if I ever want to re-download the game, I can't go to Steam. I have to go to Rockstar's website,
Mm-hmm.
find their installer, and install it from there. And it's not connected to anything other than Social Club, but that's
Huh.
across all games. And there's no software for Social Club. Like you can't just open up Social Club. That's an in-game thing. So
Right. That's...
um,
Hmm.
it's weird. And like when I was seeing Grand Theft Auto 5 sitting at $14 on Steam, I've been very tempted to purchase it because I'd rather deal with it being on Steam. I don't like it being that way because finding it and then installing it is a pain
Oh,
in the
yeah.
ass. And also, you have to save your save games for both online and single player. They
Like,
don't. There's no
manually?
clouds. Yeah, yeah. So like, if I
Jesus.
ever reset my computer, I have a backup folder on one of my external drives
Uh-huh.
that is for Grand Theft Auto 5 save games. I just copy the entire folder onto that folder before I restart, like factory reset my computer. It kind of sucks. I miss cloud saves.
Yeah.
uh, but I got the game, so there's that.
Yep. So, you can at least play it. That's something. But, yeah, I know that G2A has been kind of under fire recently, and this is just one of the many things that just makes us go, wait, why? What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
So, thing is, here's the thing. Um, we have two articles about G2A today.
Yeah.
Are they both? Are they both from PC Gamer? No, no, no. This one's from
One's Polygon,
Polygon.
one's from PC Gamer. I've got the
Ugh,
Polygon one
okay.
open right now. I know we don't like Polygon,
Yeah.
but sometimes
No.
they do a good job.
So the first one, I don't know if we should read the other one first or this one, but I guess we'll start here.
I think
So
these segue into each other either way.
yeah,
So,
so an employee at G2A, which runs the controversial G2A marketplace that sells game key codes. That's a little bit redundant.
yeah.
Keys in this is interchangeable with codes in this context. Attempt to secretly pay off 10 different journalists for favorable coverage on their company, according to emails published on Monday. Oof.
Wow.
Oh. G2A's head of communications, I'm just gonna call it Makuk, and then move on. Confirmed
I don't even know what language that is.
Confirmed the scheme to Polygon Viva Telephone this afternoon. He said, attempted. He said attempted.
I just see he said attempt.
What?
There's a word missing. I just see he said attempt. There's a word missing there and some quotation marks. So what I'm seeing is he said attempt to solicit positive paid coverage without disclosure is against company policy, and the employee will be reprimanded.
Cook.
Mm-hmm.
Declined to identify the employee, deferring to disclosure and employment law within the European Union. It's based in Europe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As it approaches the 10th anniversary, G2A is having difficulties proving to customers and game developers that its marketplace, a source for discounted game codes, is a legitimate line of business. Accusations of fraud have dogged.
Dogged.
What is there a second G? Does it need to be a second G?
Yeah. You could say dogged or dogged, but otherwise it's dogged.
I think that works better. The platform
Such key, much wow.
Platform nearly since its inception more than 5 years ago. Public perception has gotten so bad in this last week, it offered to open its catalog to independent auditors to help clear the air. No word on any game developer have taken them up on the offer. Meanwhile, on Monday morning, parts of an unusual email began to circulate on Twitter, titled Cooperation with G2A.com. It appears to offer a pre-written story that casts the G2A marketplace in a favorable light. It also asks for direction. We have written an unbiased article about how selling stolen keys on gaming marketplace. Oh, okay, that's a promotion.
Yeah. Given marketplaces.
Since then,
just wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Since then, Polygon has been located to.
Has been able to locate.
Jesus Christ.
The entire email.
Why don't you read it? I read the last one.
Thought you'd let me take over, but I guess not. G2A's head of communications personally verified its legitimacy and confirmed it was sent out to 10 different media outlets. It's a remarkable document for a number of reasons, not the least of which is the request to the journalists. Get rid of one word or the other. Request to journalists or request that journalist. Fire your fucking copy editor. Holy shit. Not the least of which is the request that makes more sense. The journalist keeps silent on the fact that they were being paid to publish it. The G2A employee says that low-level scammers might be able to, quote, sell 1 or 2, even 10 fraudulently obtained game keys without triggering its internal security measures. The difficult part is pulling money out of the G2A ecosystem and converting it to cash in the real world. The employee compares the step to walking into a police station and pointing a gun at the officers there. Wow. This guy knew what he was doing, too. Okay, this is confusing. On Twitter, the Polish-owned Hong Kong-based company was quick to denounce the email once it was made public. Huh.
Okay, so the person who owns it lives in Poland.
The group who owns it is based in Poland, but the company itself is physically based in Hong Kong. Why does it make sense that the Chinese would data mine keys? They do it for Warcraft.
It does.
These emails were sent by our employee without authorization, said the official G2A Twitter account, for which we apologize. He will face strict consequences, as this is absolutely unacceptable. Cook declined to elaborate on what those consequences will be. He told Polygon that while it is standard operating procedure for G2A to pay promotional fees for its content to be included on various websites, it must always be disclosed. He also emphasized that he is the only person that G2A authorized to speak with the press. So this guy went over his head.
Basically.
We also asked Cook about the open call for game developers to participate in an independent audit of its GameKey catalog on the G2A marketplace. He said that it is his company's hope to have one of the big four accounting firms
Deloitte, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Ernst & Young, or the KGB perform the audit. None of the accounting firms has been contacted. Said he has expected more information to be released publicly regarding the audits later this week. All right.
Okay, yeah, I had to stop mid-paragraph.
No, you're good. I read it.
So, all right. PricewaterhouseCoopers. That's a weird name. So, okay, none of these accounting firms has been contacted. Yeah. Okay. So, the guy running the show wants to be open about things, and then, so he's really trying his best, and he's got employees that are just like pulling strings without him knowing.
Maybe, if he's telling the truth.
Well, he's got to defend his company, so I'm sure he's fudging some things.
Plausible deniability.
Basically, yeah. I mean, really.
I can just see a meeting with everybody.
Yeah.
Where he's like, all right, you all are tasked with making the our media coverage a lot better. How you do it? I don't care. Just don't get caught.
You got caught. That's it. Goodbye.
You had one rule, motherfucker. One rule.
One goddamn rule.
Oh man. But yeah. So I mean, well, it's. I mean, here's the thing. Look, here's the thing, right? Is the media coverage really that bad for G2A to go off and do this? It's not like developers are telling people to pirate their games instead of using G2A.
No, not at all. Oh, wait, what is this?
That's exactly what they're doing. So, I think there's been a few. This has happened at least once before, but this was never like a big call thing. This was like a production company, for one of the big game sellers that made this kind of offhand comment. But that was a while ago. This is a different instance. G2A, the gray market purveyor of game keys, has once again drawn the ire of game developers less than keen for their games featured on the G2A digital shelves. It's previously clashed with Tiny Build and Gearbox. Yeah, I think Gearbox was the one that made that statement. And a recent
Yeah.
ad push has been commended by more developers, with even some saying they'd rather players torrent than buy from G2A. Publisher Mike Rose noted that the search for his games placed G2A ads for them above the publisher's own link. We make zero money from our games if people buy them through ads. He said he recommended people consider buying a game through GPU, considering buying a game through G2A to just pirate it instead.
Jesus Christ.
Mike Rose, in the latest episode of Fuck G2A, G2A has taken out sponsored ads on Google, which means that when you search for your own games, you get G2A popping up above its own links. And we make zero money from our games if people... Oh my... See, they put it a nicer way, and kind of like in that previous article, or previous paragraph was just a little bit of a nicer, not so blunt way of putting it. But
yeah, no,
that
this
makes
guy's
a lot
really
more
laying
sense.
it out why.
Yeah. Others quickly followed, including Action Heck, developer of Squid Games, and
Vlambeer's
Ishmael.
Remy Ismail?
I'm just gonna call them Ishmael. It's not just that developers don't get the money you give G2A. Then they then have to provide extra customer support for people who ended up with fake or deactivated keys. Right. No, that's another issue that you run into, and I think that's the most scummy part of G2A. So
Yeah.
G2A, when you buy it at such a cheap price, there is a small yet very real possibility that when you get your key and you go type it into Steam or Origin will come back with the statement of, this key doesn't work. This is an invalid key. And you can't do anything about it.
Yeah. So now you've paid money for nothing.
Basically. So, G2A must completely understand this. This can't... Well, here's why. See, here's the thing. If you were to go buy, again, let's say Doom from them.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just click buy Doom. All right. Tell you exactly what it's called. Cart. One of the things that you have set is called the G2A digital products coverage. Basically, it's just stating, hey, it used to be called Shield or something like that.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just them stating, hey, if it doesn't work, we'll give you your money back. Which means that they know that some of the keys that are being sold on G2A are fake.
But rather than try to find out which keys those are and take those down, they just let it happen.
Yeah.
And try to eat the cost later.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that now, you get a random person who doesn't understand the risks that are involved or anything. They just know that they wanted to buy a game. They go buy it and they turn it into Steam and the code doesn't work, and now they're going to be contacting Steam. They're going to be contacting the maker of the game, trying to figure out why it doesn't work. And now they have to put man hours into being like, oh.
When really the fault lies on G2A for providing the faulty key in the first place, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So, um, Rage Squid on Twitter, I'm guessing is one of the developers.
yep.
Please torrent our games instead of buying from G2A.
Although he's just so um straight, they're just straight up about it, like, yeah, just don't.
Oh yeah. I'm being sent
Please
things.
fucking
Why?
don't.
Me.
Why are you sending me? Okay.
I'm
Shush.
sorry.
Um, just hearing the Discord like notification thing go off and off and off, and it's from Topaz, who's sitting in the room next to me.
Sending you things.
Yeah. If you can't afford or don't want to buy our games at full price, please pirate them rather than buying them from a key reseller. These sites cost us so much potential dev time in customer service, investigating fake keys requests, figuring out credit card chargebacks, and more. So are they gonna actually mention? They're not gonna mention that. Okay, so one of the main big reasons why they don't like dealing with this, and one of the things with that makes G2A, another one of the things that just makes G2A so scummy, I have said that 3 times now, is G2A has this kind of a significant amount of games that were bought with stolen credit cards.
Okay, yeah.
So is that, who is that? Hello, person. Who I don't know what they mean by it begins. So sorry, I got a little distracted. But yeah, so people are being kind of fucked over on G2A. To be honest, I will say this, like, I'm making fun of them a little bit here, but I am a little saddened about this. I don't like paying full price for games. There's a reason why I end up getting games like 4 years after they came out.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
It took me like, one of my favorite games of all time is The Witcher 3. Took me 2 years, 2 or 3 years to even play it. Buy it and play it. But I wanted that game for so long. But I can't afford full price games. But at the same time, it's just like, the amount that they're charging is so nice. Just how they're getting it is just scummy.
Yeah.
Like you look at these prices. Now some of them don't make any sense. Like, No Man's Sky is $20 on here. What? Why? The game is old. Like, really old. How is it still $20?
Yeah, like, when did it come out? 2015, 16?
16, I believe.
And it had none of the features it promised.
Bombed. It bombed in 2016 is what you meant to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Came out in August of 2016.
So remember everyone playing that and just being like, where is everybody? I was promised multiplayer. Where's the multiplayer? Where is anything we asked for?
Oh, it was bad. It was bad. I love it looking actually at the system requirements for this game. It says, what you need is an Intel Core i3. Which generation Core i3? Because you can get a Core i3 from 2011. And will that work? An NVIDIA GTX 480, which is a old as shit card.
Yeah.
Only 8 gigs of RAM. But here's the thing with this game though, is this game is, from what everybody still says, that it's pretty still unoptimized.
Oh,
for what it is. Like, PC
Shit.
like top end PCs when it originally came out could not play this game.
No Man's Sky, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Same with Fallout 76.
Any news on that front?
Oh yeah.
Plenty.
So I mentioned this to you a little bit ago, but a few nights ago I did a stream of Fallout 76 where I was just bitching about it the entire time. To be completely honest, it was like I don't know. I wanted to see if I could stream it, like how it would go.
Yeah.
But like the server lag in that game is horrible. The amount of times I have lag spikes where it just like the game will be at a solid 114 frames per second, then it'll just drop down to 20 for no reason, and then jump back up. It's that kind of shit, and it's just like, Jesus.
Yeah, that's
Why?
Seemed to me like it's been a pretty major complaint
Here's the thing, like,
76.
the game would actually be really fun. It could be. It has the potential to be fun. While I was streaming, I ran into a few different people who were playing. Like, have you heard about the community in Fallout 76?
Not much. I didn't even know there was one.
There's actually a pretty solid community. I don't think I've ever entered a server with having the max amount of players in there, without having the max amount of players in the server.
Huh.
But they're all super nice. So fucking helpful. like it doesn't even matter that PvP in that game is just god-awful.
Yeah.
Nobody's shooting each other.
Everybody basically knows each other. They're on a first gamer tag basis. Like, oh, I know that guy. He saved my life. He's good. Yeah, he robbed me a couple times. It was all in good fun. He's got that total 1950s vibe of, oh, you rascal, you. All right, you can hold me at gunpoint again. Here's my wallet.
Gotta have some kind of excitement in your life. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Not like it'd be boring all the time.
Yeah.
That's what I call him. My excitement friend. You gotta get yourself one of those. Gotta get yourself an excite.
You gotta go out adventuring with someone who just might shoot you in the back at any point.
Makes for great stories. Tell your kids. Tell your kids. You know.
This is your Uncle Tony. He shot me 3 times. And revived me for the experience. He's a good man.
It's okay. We had a whole laugh about it. He bought me a beer.
Bought me a beer and then shot up my kneecaps again. Oh, that rapscallion.
That damn man. I'm going for like the heavy like
kind of the mid-Atlantic accent.
Yeah, more like newscaster, not newscaster, but just like radio host. You know, quick at that, like
that kind of a speed, that rapid fire, like, we're here on the ground today in downtown New York City, and I can't keep that going. I start to get winded. Oh, the humanity. I don't fucking know.
I just run out of things to say.
I kind of get that too.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
No, it's. I mean, I could possibly have fun. There's a lot of quirks and stuff about it that I'm not entirely a fan.
Well, now it's gonna have like NPCs. Like when that actually gets implemented, I'm going to get it.
That's kind of why I wanted to see if the game still worked.
Shit.
Because I'm like, I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, I want an actual story, not a confounded, horrible zombie / The Last of Us story that was contrived and not even as good.
You don't want Killing Floor Fallout Edition?
Okay, so here's the thing, right? You were given a nuke in Fallout 3. Granted, you were incredibly limited on where you could send that nuke because it had already landed and you can't move it. But you can blow up Negatown. Pretty big populated area, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was seen as a bad thing, but it gave you something good. So it was a moral bad but good, like,
Benefit.
reward.
It still
benefit.
gave you a benefit, yeah.
You gotta live in Tenpenny Tower with the incredibly racist Alistair Tenpenny and his hates for the ghouls. In Fallout New Vegas, no, there was no nuke. No. Well, okay, so you didn't get exactly a nuke. You got a satellite that shot a beam of just pure energy down on a spot. And I don't remember like how many times you could use that. I don't. It was OP.
I'm taking that shit Cazador hunting. Fuck.
Oh yeah, no. How about Deathclaw Cazador hunting? Like someone made a mod that mixed Cazadors and Deathclaws together.
Why?
It haunts my nightmares, man.
Why?
It haunts my fucking nightmares.
Why would you do that? I'm already freaked out enough by Cazadors. God, the fucking first time I found him, I was like, oh, there's some babies. I'll just kill them. There's one. Oh, God. It was in my... Like, I just turned around and it's in my face, and Boone is already dead. I'm like, no! I hate this. I was just trying to get to the next town.
People didn't go north because Deathclaws were there. People didn't go north because Cazadors were between you and the Deathclaws.
I think I walked past the Deathclaw quarry before I found the Cazadors, and I'm just like, oh god, no.
It's bad. I hate Cazadors.
I mean, I'm already terrified of bees IRL, and then there's a giant one in my face. It's like, this... I don't need sleep. I don't need sleep.
Well, they can murder your ass.
Yeah.
Rad scorpions were easier to deal with.
Right? You just needed a fucking grenade.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be back in just a second.
Alright, so fuck you, Jay Sawyer. So I guess I'll just talk to the people who are currently watching. So then we get to Fallout 76, and they do have nukes. Here's the issue. Right? When you set up a story, you don't want to give away the ending. You don't want to have the ending be throwawayable, because no one's going to care. Like, I mean, you can have the ending be predictable, like Destiny 2. The end of Destiny 2, the main story, you kill Gaul. Gaul? The main bad guy from Destiny 2. Gaul. Yes, his name was Gaul, not anything else. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this guy's name. It's predictable, you know? The hero wins, the bad guy dies. It's a predictable ending, but it's not... It's how you get there that's not released. See, the thing with Fallout 76 is there's no, like, straight-up bad guy. Because, you know, there's no NPCs. There's just giant dragons. But they're not called dragons because, you know, it's not Skyrim, but they're dragons.
Oh, we talking about the code left in 76?
No, I'm talking about the story of 76 and just how terrible the whole thing is. So
I gotta hear this.
Well, okay. So from the beginning, from E3 of 2018, you knew what the end of the story was going to be. Right? The end of the story was going to be you launching a nuke, because that makes total fucking sense, right?
It's
you
Fallout.
Launching a nuke and having it land on a place that is like, I don't remember if it's something that is just like constantly moving, or if it's one specific place on the map, because I haven't gotten that far in 76. Um, but that brings out this giant dragon creature that's not a dragon, it's a scorch beast. Like, really? That's the name we're going with? Scorch beast?
Scorch Beast.
Just sounds so childish.
The only defense
But
I can
like
think
not in a
of.
good way.
Only defense I can think of is you've never seen it before. What else are you going to call it? But like in-player character relationship to the world wise, that makes sense. But in terms of writing, it's like, come on, guys.
No,
How little
well,
time did you have?
Fallout is full of that. Like, if you ever meet the tribes in the wastelands, you know they have names for things,
Right.
because they just don't know.
But
like
the name kind of informs what this thing does.
right,
Mirelurk.
Scorch, Mirelurk,
Deathclaw.
it's a crab. Right.
Raider. Scorch Beast. What the fuck is that?
Well, so it doesn't shoot like fire. At least I don't think it might. Wait, shit. Hold on. I've never fought one. um. Scorch. Can't spell Scorch. Scorch Beast. Let's see. Whole server takes on Scorch Beast.
I mean, if it doesn't fire napalm, then it's the name has already failed.
Okay, let's see here. It's just flying around. I mean, maybe it's no. It shoots. There's the gun in like it shoots like radio waves out of its mouth.
Kind of like the Mirelurk King.
Yeah, very much like that.
That's not fire.
Yeah, no, and it's shit like that. But not only that, that is the main story of the game. It's getting the Scorch Beast to leave its cave to kill it. Ignoring all of the other bullshit around this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a shit ton of it. That's the story of the game.
That's what they went with.
Well, that makes no sense for a Fallout game. Like of all the stories you could tell, set 25 years after the bombs fell, that makes no fucking sense, and it genuinely annoys me that that's what it is, because
yeah,
I thought I could write a better story than Fallout 4, but I had no idea that the team that was making Fallout 76 was saying "hold my beer" that whole time.
I mean, the premise of Fallout 4 sounds cool. Sounds kind of compelling. You're searching for your lost kid in the wasteland. I'm like, yeah, that's something I can get behind, narratively speaking.
Well, like
and then I got to the incident and I was like, fuck. This is not what I asked for.
Do you want me to go into Fallout 4 right now? Because I can take you on a 6-hour-long train ride of how Fallout 4 could have been perfect. But
we'll save that for a midweek stream or something if we ever do those.
It's a joke.
We probably won't.
But so with not only that, like that's not the setup of the game either. I think that's the main thing that I have an issue with this game is there's no setup, right?
Mm-hmm.
You walk out, you find a bunch of people who had died from something mysterious. I think you're supposed to think that. If you go into this game blind, you never watched any of the trailers or anything, you could probably make that, thing that all these people died from something mysterious. But they don't even set it up that way. They're dead. People are dead. there's no reports about them being dead. The people come over the radio for events, like to
Mm-hmm.
tell you about doing things, and it's just like, wait a second, all you're supposed to be dead. He also acts like they're still alive, but
Yeah,
the radio keeps coming back on, so you could. It's just so much. Yes, old world blues sound gun. Yeah, that's exactly it. So it just reused assets from when Obsidian made a really good game. Uh, uh,
they just ported them straight from the
New
old engine to
Vegas.
the new one, and no wonder it runs like ass.
Um, I don't understand how you can get Fallout 4 to run actually fine. Like Fallout 4 actually runs really fine now. As long as they don't keep updating the fucking exe, add in Creation Club shit. But it runs fine now. But I don't understand how this game doesn't run fine at all. Like, I mean, I could. The
Mm-hmm.
servers are just not made for it. It would be hilarious if, because they're putting all of their games back on Steam, uh, to get a little bit of grace from the community. They're seeing all this negative press about um, people not wanting to buy games on the Epic Game Store and things being removed from Steam. So they decided to get a little bit of good press by just putting all of their games back on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be hilarious is if the people who own it on Steam get Steam servers, and Steam servers end up being stable and fix all of my issues. Oh, that'd be
I mean,
funny.
if it's Steam, then yeah, what the hell? Like, why wouldn't they? Steam actually knows what the hell they're doing when it comes to servers. So,
But it's just
you're kind of making me want to boot up Fallout 4 again, and just do
Oh,
a fresh
I would
run.
I would love to boot up Fallout 4 right now. Okay, so the Scorch Beasts don't have a tail; they just have a giant hole in their ass.
Okay, is that their critical spot?
I don't know.
Just gotta shove a
But
rocket launcher
this
out there
guy's-
and watch them squirm.
this guy's like standing behind one that's on the ground, and there's just a giant hole in its butt. Like, it's not like a butthole. It's like it's in the place where a tail's supposed to be.
Right.
This is just like, is something messed up here, or is that just like
Is this
does
normal?
it have two buttholes? Does one excrete the stuff that turns humans into zombies? Because that's another thing about the story. Like okay, so from the beginning, Fallout has things called ghouls, right?
Yeah.
Ghouls are humans that have become so irradiated that they've mutated. The normal ghouls are much like humans. They just live really long, don't get affected by radiation. Well, at least they won't die from it, and they their skin's peeling off everywhere. I mean, that's
Peeling is kind of putting it lightly.
Yeah,
But I'm with you.
And then you have feral ghouls, which are ghouls that have decided to spend a little bit too much time in radiation, even after becoming a ghoul, and they've become more like what you would consider zombies. They tend to eat humans. They're mindless and all these kinds of stuff. Fallout has this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is Bethesda decided to do with Fallout 76? Well, okay, so we have an easily explainable, if not kind of really fictional, that would never make any sense, zombie in the game, but it's not a zombie, right? Let's add another one that makes even less sense and seems incredibly contrived. Called, I think they're called the Scorched.
Yeah.
And they can use weapons. And it's just like,
Why
did we need this? If you just would have doubled the count of feral ghouls, it would have been fine. But no, you decided to add in the Scorched. Well, the Scorched are the reason why, everybody's dead, because the Scorched Beast, its piss turns to vapor or something and infects anything living around where the vapor landed on Earth. It's heavier than air or some shit. I didn't go.
The only explanation I can think of is because it's been such a short time since the bombing. They haven't quite gone feral, but they're damn close.
See, here's the thing. That would actually make sense. But the Scorched aren't ghouls.
They're just something else.
There's something else. If they would have, because I think there was a mod in Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 4 where they added an in between of ghouls who have kind of gone just a little bit too feral. But they're not like they haven't become the like basement dweller, like skinny, easily killable creature that is mindless yet. It's just a little bit insane.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. That would have worked. I think most people would have been okay with that. It would have sucked because it's become like for like people who play good characters, it's become a very much a common theme to, at least I have this tendency. I might be just speaking for myself here, but I have this tendency to be a little bit more protective of ghouls. And there's a few reasons why. A lot of them lived before the bombs fell, meaning they have so much knowledge of history.
Yeah.
And that's hard to have in a wasteland. B, they're hated by most communities. So I have a tendency to be a little bit more protective of them. So it would kind of suck, to run into not completely feralized ghouls that are just consistently trying to kill you. They've just lost their minds. They're a little bit more human looking.
Yeah.
But no, that's not what they decided to go with this game. They went with Scorched, which look basically like ghouls, but they can hold weapons and they have green shit sticking out of them. Oh, their skin's a little bit more red. Yeah, it's shit like that that's like really annoying, cause it really felt like maybe the problem is that they had an idea, like when they started development, they had an idea to do something, right?
Yeah.
And then halfway through it, they're like, yeah, we don't got a time to do any of that. So
Retool everything.
We're just gonna keep what's in there and not explain the rest. And I'll try not to make this a paw of bitches about Fallout 76 show, because
we've just been kind of bitching about the Fallout franchise for the last half hour anyway, so let's keep going. Really, we have.
Well, okay. Yeah. What time is it?
It's like 10 to 8.
Yeah. I guess I might as well finish it out then on that. But like, okay, so since I said ignore everything else, we'll come back to the game. Right? So you have that set up, at the beginning. It's early days.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided that they wanted to kill everyone. Before you got out of the vault. All of the remnants, or what is it?
I think they were called not revenants, remnants, I think.
No, not remnants.
Something else beginning with an R.
Yeah, it starts with an R. Responders. They have the responders, and God, they could have set up an interesting, like, whole thing, because the setup for the game, right, is it's probably how they fly. They, they're big motherfuckers, but they're probably hollow.
They're a 3D model, of course they're hollow. No souls.
So, the setup for the game is that you're going out to rebuild the wasteland, yet nothing about the story completes that task. Now, like, you go out into the wasteland, you build a base. Where can you build a base? Nowhere near a town.
Mm-hmm.
Or, okay, where else can't I build a base? Nowhere near another player. Well, it's an online game. Why can't I do that? Well, you can't share resources either. What?
Yeah, that
I
doesn't
mean,
make sense.
well,
Like,
you can trade and stuff, but you can't, like, share bases.
that also
Like,
doesn't make sense. The whole point is to build a settlement and
yeah,
reestablish humanity.
right? Right? But none of
I'm
the
reestablishing
story.
humanity by myself.
Yeah,
Reproduction? What's
basically.
that? Like,
There's no interesting, like, setup for that either. Like,
see what I liked about Arma's Wasteland mode is there were 3 teams you could pick from, and like to build a base as like the I think they were called the Independents. They're kind of like the mercenary faction, where no one on the mercenary faction was in teams, but if you were in a fire team, you could not share resources, but you weren't excluded from building near anyone else. You just kind of pooled your assets and built what you could. That makes more sense for
right.
76. What they're
No,
doing
that-
is
it
they're
doesn't
trying. I
happen
guess
that
they're
way.
trying to prevent. I can see what they're doing. They're trying to prevent you from, like, you bring some rando in and he's like, "Yeah, I'll help you," and then he just fucking burns your house down.
Yeah, you could make that argument, but okay.
But
So,
that is a single case. Most people, like, okay, like with the Rust server for the Saints. Half the
Right.
reason we got bored is we were all friends and no one wanted to attack each other.
right, but that's because there was no PvE. This game has a shit ton of PvE.
Yeah, there were bears in Rust, and that's about it. The one bit of PvP was when Jeff decided he was gonna fucking raid our asses, and I fucking went Navy SEALs on him.
It was Jeff and then his buddies tried to continue it, and we were all just like bored
like-
by that point.
Yeah.
Um, when you have a PvE game that's supposed to be set up, along the idea that you're supposed to be rebuilding the waste, not allowing players to group up as far as like, building makes no sense. Like, okay, so contrast this to Minecraft, right?
Yeah.
You can do that in Minecraft.
You can
like,
do that
you can-
in 7 Days to Die.
Yeah, you can do that in a lot of these games. But for like me, I don't like doing that, right? But there's
Yeah.
no story reason to do it in Minecraft. There's no, whole point of like the point of 76 is for everybody to work together, rebuild the wasteland. And you could also make the argument, well, it's 25 years after the bomb fell, and we've seen what the world looks like 200 years after the bombs fell, and the world isn't rebuilt. Well, that doesn't mean that you have to succeed. Like,
Yeah.
like you can
And
create a small settlement that becomes
The other kicker is too that you all come from the same vault. So why the
Right.
hell wouldn't you be able to band together? Like, the minute you step out of the vault, you're just like, I hate everybody. It's like, no, that's not how it works. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
like maybe they were going for the idea of like, alright, I have a way to perfectly fix Fallout 76. Change almost every mechanic in the game to being about role playing. Well, okay, right? So,
I got to think about that. I'm not saying
Alright.
don't. I'm like, okay, what do you mean? Every mechanic, like, what do you mean? Like with combat?
no, not with combat. Keep it the same. I'm talking like, like to get ahead in like to progress. It's
Mm.
completely based off of like a role play of a character. So working together basically.
Okay.
No, this is one of those games where I could see forcing everyone to work together as being a good thing. Except, and I just realized that's a stupid statement because,
Because that's communism. No.
well, no. Every time you boot into the game, you boot into a different server. You're not booting into one with a set of people every time.
That's weird.
If it was a static server that you could boot into, this is the reason why private servers seem like a great thing. If it's a static server that you can boot into,
Yeah.
um, that you have a pre-established character, and like relationships are built and all that kind of stuff, that I could see working.
Mm-hmm.
But with the way that the game is now, it's just not. It's. I'm gonna boot the game up. You know what? Like, I'm gonna just because.
A little bit of play-by-play for the last 3 minutes of the show here.
Yeah, when you get into the game, right? It's um. And that's another thing. Like when you boot into the game, there's a high possibility that somebody has built a um
A structure where you've already
Yes.
got something.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
kills the entire concept behind um working together to build like a thing.
Yeah, like
If
I would build a
everybody's-
base with like checkpoints. If
right.
it were me. And like, oh,
Well,
just
okay,
put,
so,
you
like-
know, kind of keep track of this road and yeah, come in, just don't be a dick. We got food, we got water, take what you need and move along, partner.
Okay, so a lot of the settlements that I would run into during that stream were set up as vendors,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like homes to sleep in, you know, because the map's pretty big. You might not be able to get back, or like it costs actual money to fast travel. So
Why?
I don't know. There's no in-game logical reason for it either. Like if it was a caravan system, right?
Yeah.
You know, you just hopped onto a caravan and like fast traveled
And
there.
took
you're
off,
paying
yeah,
the
that makes
caravan.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Or Vaultec being like, you gotta pay us a fee. So we know where the hell we're going. Why? We're Vaultec.
yeah, dude, that would be fantastic. They could have dove. Thank you, into like all of the things that like were given to this vault because this vault was a control vault, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't the one that had any experiments, so they could have dove into all the things that a control vault got when going back out into the wasteland. Like there were like one of the original towns that was made that works and was like very productive until the master showed up and just like ate everyone. Um was I think it was Vault City, and it was created and it was made into this flourishing thing by the fact that they had a GEC which terraformed a certain area around it to be inhabitable.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that in this game. And it doesn't make any sense why. It's just basically like they're like, oh yeah, so people want to go out and start killing ghouls. Okay, let's just send them out there. Have fun.
Don't die.
Yeah, they're like there's also like the whole fact that you can't re-enter Fallout or Vault 76 after you've left it. Like that's a whole nother thing that is just retarded.
Yeah.
Because the things that you could do with like a functioning vault as kind of a base of operations for expanding outside of the vault, right? Like that's
Yeah.
what would make sense. But no.
No.
They couldn't do any of that. Oh fuck. I'm being attacked by a ghoul. Oh no.
Bastards.
Um yeah. Oh, this is Virginia, not Boston. I'm kidding. Um but like okay, so you know how there's public events in Destiny 2, right?
Yeah.
The game makes sense to have public events. At all times, you have a ghost that's going around and talking to your ear. You also have a point of contact with anybody who's living on the planet.
Yeah.
Fallout 76 is supposed to be a completely inhabited except by creatures world. Not supposed to be any NPCs. But if you
Mm-hmm.
walk up to an area that has an event going on, over the radio, like unskippable and unignorable, there is just someone that pulls up and is like, "Hey, responders, looks like this food factory is up and working again. You should probably get in there and start making food for as rations for everybody." And it's just like, who are
Where
you?
did you come from?
How did you get on my radio? Like, it's also completely repeatable. It's not like, it's there once
Yeah. It's like,
and
what?
then it's
Didn't we just
gone.
take this back?
Yeah. No, it's and it pulls me the fuck out of this game, and I don't like that. For the Fallout game, one of my favorite thing about Fallout games is I can just exist within the world. And then
Yeah.
when I get pulled out by bullshit like that, it's just like, okay, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? Oh, I'm gonna do a quest. Well, why would I care? Everyone's dead. Who am I? Like some of the quests that you gotta do make no sense. It's like, oh yeah, get these supplies. For who? Myself?
To what point
Like,
and purpose?
like at least with other people around in like other Fallout games, there you could make that argument. Well, like this quest, you're doing this quest like the repeatable quests from Fallout 4. As much as I hate that they exist at all, you can at least make the statement. Oh, okay, well, this settlement is getting incredibly like fucked over by these raiders, so I gotta go. Right? You can
Mm-hmm.
make that argument to yourself, but there isn't that in Fallout 76 because there's no one around. Am I getting food and shit for the robots? Like, they don't eat? What?
You don't know that. Don't judge them.
I'm going to judge them. They try to kill me half the time. Because, the game can't have humans, so all where humans were are now replaced by robots. Which makes this game sound a lot more Terminator-like than Fallout.
Yeah.
Our robot overlords are keeping us within the Fallout 76 simulation, and they keep resetting it every day.
Elon Musk was right, goddammit. Where do you think Todd Howard gets it from?
Boom.
We've cracked the code, goddammit.
But it's just annoying. Their weight system in this game is horrible. Like I knew like Fallout 3, actually no, Fallout New Vegas with hardcore
Mode, yeah, hardcore mode had a weight system.
Thank you. No, it was like a more ridiculous weight system, adding it to
Well, like coming
ammo
from Stalker,
and-
that mode made sense.
Right, but it was just harder. This is just like almost-
Retarded.
Yeah,
It's like, why does ammo weigh that much? Like, one round weighs how much?
It's not just that. Like, okay, so I have the least amount of shit I can possibly have on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 90% full inventory at all times.
We're talking maybe one firearm, one backup.
Some like 100 rounds.
Between
And
between your two guns?
no, for one gun, I can't. Ammo goes by way too in this game. Like I
Yeah.
said, um also we don't get all those really nice weapon mods cuz mods aren't a thing. Like I've gotten so in love with the other games
Yeah, as far
that
as I can tell, repairing weapons isn't a thing either.
in other games, in this game it's
In Fallout 76, repairing things isn't allowed.
yeah, so oh,
Or it's very hard
well,
to keep a gun you like repaired.
so I haven't had too many issues with it. But I'm a scav, you know,
Mm-hmm.
consistently in every Fallout game. I just pick up everything. So as long as I'm heading back to my house or base or whatever,
Yeah.
it that hasn't been an issue. Like, and that wasn't an issue in Fallout 4 or in Fallout New Vegas either, because that's how Fallout New Vegas had it. So I'm a little bit more used to it. I played that game for like 5 years
Long time.
consistently. Yeah, I calculated out the hours. So I played Fallout New Vegas, uh, 30 hours a week every week for 5 years.
Wow. Sounds like me
That's a
playing
fucking
Risk of Rain right now, but
sounds like a fucking job is what it was.
yeah. I mean, is that
I think
immersive?
the best part is like, through that time I think I only finished the game twice.
I haven't even finished it once.
Yeah.
I need to. I need to just sit down and power through it, but every time I get distracted by something else. Not because it's a bad game, I'm
Oh,
just like, ooh, let's do this.
I I need to finish like for because I finished the railroad playthrough on Fallout. What time is it? Oh, okay. On Fallout
Yeah.
4, I finished the railroad playthrough, and then I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to go back and do the best ending. I've tried to do that 100 times, but every time like I get in the middle of playing the game, I end up breaking the game somehow with some kind of mod, and then I have to reset everything
Oh, shit.
and start over from the beginning of the game. And I was close, man. I
So
was
close.
so close with this mod or this playthrough that I've been working on for the past like month or something. Like before I was doing the editing,
Mm-hmm.
I was real close. And then I updated to the most recent version of Fallout 4 because I
Mm-hmm.
had to, because Steam is as much of a bitch as Bethesda is. They don't let you not update your game.
Yeah.
Um, and uh, I I got every mod updated except for a mod that is so essential to the current playthrough that I'm going through that I could not play the game without it, and it's not updated yet.
Oh,
And the
shit.
update for Fallout came out at the beginning of June. So it's
Oh.
been a month and it still hasn't been updated. And I'm so sad because I'm just like, I held off for so long, and I got so far. Like I am literally just waiting to do the last side mission from the railroad
Mm-hmm.
before I go actually finish the game. I have to do Randolph House 6. And then after that, I go talk to the Minutemen and we invade the Institute, kill everybody inside, blow it up, and then I'm done. Like that's it. the game's over. I've done all the side quests, all the side missions that I can. Because there's a lot of ones that are kind of if you don't want to do if you want an ending.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you start this mission here, for the Brotherhood, it makes Brotherhood and Railroad hostile. Or this mission here for the Railroad, it makes Railroad and Minutemen hostile or whatever. But the whole point behind this is to destroy the Institute while having the Minutemen, the Brotherhood, and the Railroad all completely okay and not hostile with each other. And so I was so close.
So close, so fucking close. All right, well, I
I've
think
been
that's a
rambling
good
for a
good
while.
point to end the stream here.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much for stopping by. You can catch us next week at the same time, hopefully with Pig. We'll see how he's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'll see you then. Good night, everybody.
Good night.